Hi, teammates all around the world. This is Sean J. McCall, and I am your host for this edition of Let's Talk. You know, I'm not big on crazy long intros. I'm really excited to have my guest here. And so we're going to just get started right away. I'm going to bring him into the live right now. Second now. And boom. No, not boom. So there we go. There we go. There's the handsome devil right there.
What's up, man?
What's good, man? Hey, first, before we start, just want to give you a shout out and tell you thank you for coming on because you probably get a couple of requests for things like this, and you know we didn't know each other before this, and I just sent you I liked your page, I liked what you represent, and I mean I've known your name from the ACB as well, and I thought, man, I'm just going to send him a request, and bam, right away you're like, let's do it. So
Yes,
that's
sir.
happening. So I appreciate that, and yeah, we're gonna rock this interview, and we're gonna get started. Please just introduce yourself really briefly, and then I'll get started with the questions.
Yeah, so I'm Beqa Burjanadze, currently the player for the ACB team Leyma Coruña, and from Georgia, representing
Sure.
all day, every day. And yeah, that's it. Also, I wanted to thank you for having me. It's likewise. I love your page. I love the content you're creating.
Thank you.
It's, in my opinion, it's super helpful for the players who wants to come overseas and play in Europe. That you have a lot of experience like me. That it's not easy thing
Right.
to do. So it's great what you're doing.
I appreciate that. So let's get started. To warm up, we're going to go back to your beginnings, right? So how does a kid from Georgia end up in Spain and have your pro debut at 16 years old? How does that happen?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was amazing experience for me. First of all, in 2009, I played this European Championship under 16 with under 16 national team in Division B, which Division A is where all the scouts and all the top coaches are.
Right.
In Division B, it's I gotta say it's way less. Even back in the day in '09. So I did a very good championship. Individually, I had very good stats, and I was lucky because actually a couple of scouts was on our games, and actually I received, after the championship, I received several invitations. Not the contracts or the offers. It was more to go and for the tryouts,
Right.
let's say. And one of the teams was Cajasol of Sevilla. Currently, it's Betis, the name of the club. So I was fortunate enough to get this tryout offer. I went there. I for 3 days I practiced with the under 16 team, and I played for 2 or 3 games, and I went back to Georgia, and I waited for them for a couple of months, and then they send the long-term deal, long-term contract that I, with no brainer, I signed. For me personally,
Right.
it was not even the question. Like, I signed right away. For the family, for my mom, it was very tough
Yeah.
decision because
Yeah.
I was, have in mind, I was just turned 16, and I had to leave my family, my mom and my friends, everybody, to go there in the totally new environment and
Mhm.
start my journey, And I was just a kid, man, living the dream. But basketball was my passion, and it was. That's why I'm saying it was so easy decision for me to make.
How you spoke about for your mom, how tough it was leaving. What was the influence like for you, or how did you feel leaving everything behind to go as a 16-year-old? Looking back on it, were you naive about what you were about to face, or were you pretty ready for that?
You know what? 2 years prior, uh, uh, when I left to Spain 2 years prior, my father passed away.
Mm-hmm.
So I always say, the kids that have this kind of experience of losing the loved one in such an early age, they have to mature in this early age.
Quicker.
Like my father passed away, and now I was the man of the
Right.
family, in the family. I was seeing my mom struggling every day, even though she had a work, but we had a lot of debts economically and financially. And we were moving from one neighborhood to another, renting the apartment because we couldn't afford one to have one
Right.
to live in. So we were renting and stuff like this. So my goal not just was to become a pro player and just to live my dream. My goal also was to provide for my family since that age. So I I can say that I was ready to take that step and take that decision, but at the same time, I was feeling bad just to leave my mom by herself because we didn't have anybody else. Mainly all my family members were living in another city. So in the capital, in Tbilisi, it was just mom and with her work and the circle of the friends that she had and stuff like this. But I had to provide. So you know what? It was so tough at back in the day to get out from the country. So either you have to get out at that age, or you have to
You're
deal
probably not going to go.
with playing in Georgia League, which is getting better and better. Don't get me wrong, but it was not very bright future waiting for me in case if I stayed there. So I'm so grateful and thankful to God, man. First of all, to have had that opportunity to go, and it was, like I said, no brainer for me.
Yeah. What was going into your head the first time you checked into an ACB game?
Oh my God! Actually, you know what? Like few days
You were
ago, it
16,
was
right?
it was the anniversary of my debut, like 14 years ago,
Wow.
and I posted that photo on my Instagram story, and man, it was so many emotions because you know what? I still remember, man, when we had these practices in the main arena of São Paulo, is the name, São Paulo Arena. When I was coming out from the youth practice, from a distance, I was just standing there for 10, 15 minutes watching the arena and thinking about myself like, Beqa, one day, maybe one day, man, you will play there as a pro,
Right.
So now to become that pro, even though I was 16, 17, I was not really pro, but damn, I'm just having my debut, like what I was working and dreaming for, and now finally I'm achieving it. It was the mix of so many emotions. And I also posted like I captured the caption that I was saying that I'm so proud of that kid that never gave up. Regardless all the circumstances and all the ups and downs and adversities. So it was huge for me, man, and for my family.
You remember your first 2 points?
My first 2 points, I remember. So in that game when I debuted in ACB, it was for 34 seconds. I did not touch the basketball. I was guarding. It was against Bilbao. I was guarding the best shooter because at the time I was playing as a small forward. Now I'm playing as a power forward. So I was guarding Vasiliadis, the Greek guy, the shooter, like catch and shoot, like incredible. He was having incredible season, and the team that have in mind that season the team made finals. So hell of a team. So I was guarding him in the corner, and Aaron Jackson drove to the basket, and I made this stunt like fake and recover thing.
Right.
It passed to Costas, and while I was closing out, I was praying in my thoughts that please miss it. And he actually made an air ball. So I was like, damn, like a good D. And yeah, it was so curious. But then after my first points came playing off ball, like our center received on the low post, and obviously me as a young guy, nobody respected me. So
Right.
my guy helped a lot. You know how it goes. And I cut to the basket, and it was a great dime, and I scored. So that was, if I'm not wrong, that was my first 2 points.
Dope.
And since then, it's
Dope.
been crazy.
Dope. So you played in Italy. The playing style in those two countries, because those are obviously two of the better
Yeah.
countries in Europe. What are the kind of differences in playing
Yeah,
style?
that's a great question, actually. And in my time in Reggio Emilia in Italy, it was my first season out of Spain, playing as a pro. And I was like, damn, like in ACB, I would say it's more tactical, high IQ game.
Mhm.
In Italy, it's more physical.
Mhm.
And what I mean by that, not more physical, that they are more athletic, like maybe French league
Right.
is, but Italian is more physical because just because of the fact that the referees are allowing more contact. You know, for example, in ACB, all the pump fakes you are making and they jump on you, everything is foul. Everything, even the defender, it jumps a little bit. In Italy, if they're like on your head, like they was not calling it. I was so surprised. There's some rookie effect also because you're a
Yes.
rookie in the season,
Yes.
then
Or
man,
a new player
yeah,
that they don't know yet. Yeah.
exactly. Maybe that was a fact, but I was like, damn. But talking also with Shengelia, Toko, who plays in Virtus, I was like, Toko, is this normal here? Because we both been playing in Spain almost all our life, and he's like, Beqa, yes, you better get used to it, get more physical, because if not, they're not calling it. So I had to do it.
Every hooper has a welcome to the league moment. What was your welcome to the league moment? Now we're gonna fast forward. Now we're talking about you're a real pro.
Yeah.
This one as a youth. So maybe the first time in Italy. What was your welcome to basketball moment as a pro?
I'll tell you, guarding Felipe Reyes was
Ooh,
my welcome to the real like man's
right,
basket.
right.
Because have in mind, I didn't say this, but when I turned 18, Cajasol offered me the pro contract of
Mhm.
3 more years. My current team at the time, but also that summer I was playing under 20 Division A championship, European championship, and I was the youngest guy in the tournament because I was 18.
Right.
But my level was like I was performing so good that I received the offer from Oregon Ducks.
Mhm.
One of the assistant coaches was there, and he talked to me. He liked my profile as a player. We had this interview. He asked me some questions, and I was so determined to go there because I always want to get drafted,
Mhm.
and to get drafted that way was easier going from NCAA than to go from the Europe.
Right.
Nowadays,
It's
it's
different.
it's vice versa because we can see a lot of European guys getting drafted.
Mhm.
So but the funny stuff was that 2 weeks prior to that interview, I've already signed the pro contract with Cajasol, so I couldn't go.
Right.
And why I told this story because the result is that once I turned 18, now I'm checking in the game, and nobody's, not even my coach and my teammates are looking at me like, oh, this 16-year-old prospect. No. Now I
They're
gotta
looking at you.
perform. Now I
Right.
gotta help the guys
Right.
to win the games, even if it's
Right.
for 5 or 7 minutes.
Right.
I'm not the player of 20 minutes at the time, but 5, 7 minutes I was playing. Now I got to perform and help those guys. And I checked in. One of the first games was Real Madrid. Now I got to defend Felipe Reyes. 2 months ago, I was defending the guys of my age. Now I got to defend him. And at the time, when he was not, but at the time he was one of the best power forwards in the whole Europe, not
Right.
not only in the ACB. So man, it was my welcome to the league, welcome to the men's basketball, whatever you want to call. But that guy was dominating me, man. Like only to box out him, you know how much strength it requires to box out that guy. And at the time he was starting to knock down shots from outside.
Yeah.
So he was expanding his game like to all around game.
Right.
And man, like and you know how Real Madrid is, like they saw me, the young guy, okay, the call for Felipe.
Yeah.
You know?
Let's
And
go.
it was definitely that.
I know that you're a family guy, and how has having a family, wife, 2 children, how has that influenced also your decision making, where you go, your next steps? How has that influenced your professional life?
It changed your perspective when you become dad, like 360.
Yeah.
Now you don't only play for yourself and for your career, but for your family as well, for their well-being, for their future, for the legacy, and it's so many, it's so much. I would say it's a pressure. It's a kind of pressure
A good
as well.
pressure.
Yeah, for sure, because you play for them, like I said, and my perspective, not about the basketball or my career, about the life changed so much, you know, and for the good, obviously, and having them, it's such a great motivation, you know. Just take this example, like coming from a bad day of practice or lose game, like to see them, their faces. What you think? They don't even care about how you play. Like for them, you to being with them is pure happiness. And man, I'm so grateful and thankful for that. You know, and I can't pass this without mentioning all the job that my wife is doing, because I always say the wives or the couples of the players have the even more difficult job, especially if they have to travel with us. They gotta adapt to new environments like this, like maybe every year, because our contracts is 1, 2, give it max 3 years. It's not like football. So they're doing such a great job, man, and I'm thankful for them for everything.
What's the biggest challenge that you personally face with fatherhood and being a professional athlete?
Yeah, that's a great question as well. Like most of the parts of my career, I would say that I was dealing with such a bad injuries. You know, that was one of the most difficult part for the athlete to deal with, especially when you're having family and you're dealing with these kind of injuries, and you don't know what's coming. Because I always say, man, injuries are breaking you down, not only physically, but mentally, emotionally, and financially. Because, damn, like who wants to sign the player who is coming from a big injury or whatever, you know? So that was having the family. That was one of the biggest things to deal with. And man, I improved so much in taking care of my body and taking care of myself, because now I know that consistency is such a big thing in our life. You know, I've had so many examples of the players who wasn't on the great level performing, but they stick around during so many years. They were hardworking guys. Maybe not the talent-wise, like huge talents, but they stick around. They help the team to win in the small details. They working their ass off, and then they build their way up. So now injuries are making you know, so many ups and downs, but the consistency at the same time is so important. So now having my family, they made me understood this part of the game, and now I'm way better in taking care of myself. So I would say that.
Good. So in November 2024, you reached a huge milestone, in my opinion, that you played 200 ACB league
Yeah,
games. What does this a milestone like that mean to you? I mean, it's durability. It's I mean, even though you've been injured, you had setbacks,
yeah,
but not a lot of guys can say that they played 200 games in ACB. What was that for you that moment?
yeah. Uh, I could say that it could easily be 300 or even more, but during again these injuries and thing, but you know, going through every adversity and tough times, you're growing and you're learning. So I can't even say nothing. I wouldn't change anything, man. Like
Mhm.
I become who I am as a person, first of
Mhm.
all, and as an athlete and basketball player because all of those adversities.
Yeah.
So that 200 games means so much for me because it's not just a number for me, you know.
Mhm.
It's all the hard work that I put in,
Right.
all the adversities that I had to surpass to come along until the spot that I am today. So it speaks volumes when I'm thinking about it. You know, it's not just a number for me. And hopefully, fingers crossed that knocking on the wood, fingers crossed, praying everything that it will be way more games than that number. You know, because I'm in love with this sport and I'm in love with this league because it's like I was talking to my teammate the other day. Like I love this league so much, man, because this type of basketball is just amazing. So hopefully it will be more seasons.
I'll be rooting for you.
Yes.
Okay, so back when you were in Gran Canaria, you played alongside with Kristaps Porzingis. You were both kind of getting started with your careers. Do you have any standout memories from that time?
Yeah. So with Kristaps was in Cajasol
Oh,
when I
that's
was also young. Yeah. Yeah, I have so many memories with KP, man. Like I remember first days, believe it or not, first days when he came as to for the tryouts, like
right.
me. This 16 years old guy, 201 as a height, could not even finish the practice because of how skinny he was. He was getting dizzy, like he couldn't finish the practices. And to look at him now,
Right,
all the
right,
muscle mass that he put
right.
on,
A
not
lot of
just
hard
that,
work to do that.
huh?
That's a lot of hard work to put on that
Man,
kind
a
of
lot of
muscle.
hard work, man, a
Yeah,
lot of hard work. A lot of people, obviously, a lot of people who was not seeing him back in the day at his struggle days.
right.
For them, it's easier to say, "Oh, this guy is 220. For sure, he
Yeah,
could ball." You know,
yeah.
it doesn't go that
No.
way. But so many memories, man. We were living in the residency, like so. It was a building that the students were living, the
Mhm.
university students, and also one floor of that building was for us, for the young guys
Mhm.
who came from the another countries who had the contract with the club. So we were there, like sharing all the memories that we have in childhood during those years,
Mhm.
going at school together in the bus, coming back together, going for the practices for the games together, and then eventually playing in the pro team together. You know,
Mhm.
because we had Aito Garcia Reneses, the coach, who
Right.
made him debut. The coach that made me debut was Joan Plaza. The anniversary day, I sent him this very exact same pic and telling him, you know, how thankful I was for him to believe in me. You know, and Aito made KP debut in ACB. So we were teammates, two young guys, and not only us, it was so many young guys in the roster, like Thomas Satoransky, Andre Balvin, William Gomez, Joan
That's
Sastre.
I saw the pics and I was like, this is crazy right here.
Yeah. So the club was doing such a great job working with the young talents. Even Nikola Radicevic, who got drafted then in Denver Nuggets on at the same year like KP and Willie did. And just bunch of kids, man, working hard. we were having a successful season because we made playoffs, and just having the great veterans like Marcus Landry and Scott Bamford and the guys like that. So many good memories.
Okay, now we're gonna move to you repping your country, Georgia. You've been with the national team for many years. I've also played. I have an Austrian citizenship, so I've also played for the Austrian national team, even though I'm American, and it's still different, right? It's when you play with a national team, that's a totally different level of pride. For you, what does it represent for you to play for your Georgian national team?
Yeah, I mean it means everything, man. And a lot of guys says these words, but I think this phrase that it means everything describes at 100% to the fullest what we really feel when we put that national team jersey on. And I really understand you that you as American played with the national team, national team. I really feel you because I've had so many Americans playing with me with the Georgian national team as well. And when I see them so committed,
Yeah.
and with the sparks in their eyes, like they're playing like one of the Georgians. One of the Georgians would play. Like for instance, now we have Kamar Baldwin, who's a Baskonia player, and man, when he puts his jersey on, he's playing like one of us, one of Georgians, and I have so much respect in those guys because what is the point? Like you was never born there, you have no relatives there, so you have been there twice. So you really don't. But we as his teammates, we are doing such a I want to say such a great job just to getting him know our traditions, our culture. You know,
That's a big thing.
That's a big thing,
huge.
man.
Huge.
That's a big thing. It's not about you just getting passport and you play there.
Huge.
It's just you're playing for this culture, and we're doing great job for them to understand this, and they're doing great job to receiving this as a message, and then to transmit it on the floor by their actions. You know, so that's a great thing. So I talked so much about Americans, but also for us, like it's amazing feeling. I always say that when we play at home, it's always packed, and I have this feeling that we can run faster and jump higher, you know, and shoot better, and it's just amazing feeling overall.
Georgia has produced some hoopers, and especially as of late. But I want to go back to your cousin. How much of an influence was your cousin, Tata? How much of an influence was he? I mean, he played in the NBA. He did his thing. How much was that a goal for you to probably like follow in his footsteps as well?
Man, it was. You know what's the life is amazing, man, because my mom was the one who was taking him as he was a kid to the practices, to the very same coach who raised him and who taught him the ABC of basketball.
Right.
So the decision to make for me to go and start practicing in basketball was very easy. And it was thanks to him and all of the achievements and successes that he was having. So now my mom took a very easy decision. Hey, I'm going to take Beqa to the very same coach. And I remember I was 6 years old. It was 1st of September, so first day of school for me. And after the school finished, my mom picked me up and just took me to the basketball practice, you know, to the same coach. And man, I gotta say that first couple of months, I was terrible. Like I didn't even like the sport because everybody was better than me. But step by step, week by week, day by day, I started getting better, and I fall in love with the game. and now I was sleeping with my new shoes that my mom bought me, and with a new basketball and stuff like this. So I made this all the steps forward and forward, higher and higher, and man, it was crazy. It was crazy journey. But Zaza has everything to do with it. You know, if not Zaza, I would say that maybe I would go with another sport. Who knows? Maybe I would never look at the basketball because have in mind this: when my mom took me to the basketball practice, I didn't know anything about the sport. That was the first time that I saw the basketball court, that I saw the basketball. Actually, I have never watched the basketball game prior in my life. So everything happened because Zaza made his first steps, because he had a successful career, and that's why it all happened.
I mean,
And then we played again in the national team. So imagine
exactly.
what that represented for me,
Exactly.
for him, and for our whole family. You know.
Exactly. So actually, we're going to shout out to your mom right now, because if your mom hadn't taken him to basketball practice, maybe you wouldn't have ended up playing hoops.
Exactly.
So the
That's
real
what happened.
MVP is moms, as usual. So
Yes,
we're going
sir.
to shout her out real quick.
Yes, sir.
You also play on the national team with one of my personal favorite hoopers in the EuroLeague, and that's Shengelia. I think he's dope. And you guys have probably played many, many years together from youth on up. The question I have for you is, who's better at one-on-one, you or him?
Oh man, you're killing me, man. As a competitor, I gotta say me. Like, come on, man. Like, if we gear up now and face to face, like one on one, come on. I'm not saying you are winning me. You are winning against me. But at the same time, being realistic, he's such a great player.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Take the spot from the court from where he can't attack.
Yeah.
Either if it's low post, that it's his main game, or face to the basket one-on-one, because he's such a good ball handler, you know.
And he's
So
an
such a great
underrated
player.
passer as well.
What you said, sorry?
He's an underrated passer as well.
He's underrated passer.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And later in his career, because from the beginning he was not. The teams were treating him like a non-shooter, and now when he is starting to knocking down those shots from outside, now he's even more unguardable, because if you are closing out to him close, he has such a fast first step, you know, and he's so agile as well.
Yeah.
And actually, my current teammate Trey Tompkins, who played a lot of years in EuroLeague, I asked him, "Yeah, man, who's the toughest guy to guard as a power forward in EuroLeague during all those years that you played in Real Madrid and stuff like this?" And he said, "Toko, gotta be Toko, because he moves like a small forward, even the shooting guard, in the power forward's body and strength and athleticism."
Yeah.
So that's why he is where he is.
What's one thing that people don't know about Georgian basketball?
Oh my God. What's one thing that people don't know about Georgian basketball?
Yeah.
Because if I say the national team, I would be lying, because now a lot of people know the national team.
You're not a secret anymore. You're not a secret anymore.
It's not a secret anymore. I don't know. That we produce all the big guys that there is. But you know what? That's not even secret anymore, because look at all the big guys that we've been having, man. And from Zaza, and especially before Zaza, it was Vladimir Stepania, who is actually first guy who played from Georgia, who played in NBA. And now Goga Bitadze and Mamuk Elashvili. Actually, shout out to
great too.
Man, shout out to both of them guys, because it was their night last night. Like, Mamuk made the history, the player who dropped so many points under 20 minutes.
Right.
He dropped 34 with 93% out of field goal. Come on. he just missed one shot. And Goga, who had 19 points, double, something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Like huge, man. Like we are developing huge talents. There is so many talents, and the people. Okay, I'm gonna answer this.
Okay.
The people that don't know about Georgian basketball is the love of the basketball of Georgian people, and especially the love of the Georgian kids. Like you can see year by year, so many kids, the amount of kids that they're just subscribing to these youth academies in basketball youth academies in Georgia. People doesn't know, but we are coming. Like the future of Georgian basketball is increasing and growing. And the people from outside of Georgia don't know it, but I can really tell and I can really see.
Good, good. And you've been leading the way, so that's for sure a good feeling for you to understand that all the work, all the sacrifice that you, Zaza, everybody that you've named has put forth. Now it's starting to pay itself back in the youth. That's got to be a dope feeling, right?
Man, that's such a great feeling. Like I'm thankful of the past generations, and when I think that these upcoming generations they can really learn anything or something from us, from the national team players or from the pro players who are having success uh, in the foreign countries, like that feeling is amazing. You can tell by that feeling that damn, I really did something right with my career. It was not just making baskets or having this much points or that much points. It's also way bigger than that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's pretty dope.
Last question about ACB. I wanted to ask it before. What's the toughest gym to play in ACB?
Oh,
This I'm
that's
really
easy.
interested to know.
That's easy. That's easy. None of you that you're thinking, Real Madrid or Barcelona or whatever, Manresa. Have you ever had a
I've
chance
heard
to
that
play in
before.
Manresa?
I've heard that before.
Man, Manresa or Fuenlabrada that is competing in the second league,
Right.
but during a lot of years it was the ACB team and very competitive ACB team. And their gyms, their arenas where you play are so similar. They're small, so maybe like 4,000, 5,000 people, but it's not expanded. Like the
Everything is close.
man, when you're on the bench, very first fan of the team is right here, like shouting in your ear, and try and have balls and get up to applaud for your teammates. Man, you're sitting your ass down right quickly, you know. So it's it needs just a 4-point run for that team to everybody shout and scream and man, it's I imagine for them to play at home, gotta be goddamn. We won. We already won. So it's
All right. All right.
great.
I only got a couple more questions for you. When you think about your career and other people think about your career, for example, what do you want them to say about Beqa?
That he was the hardest working guy. Uh, I want them to know, think, and say whatever was the controllable for me. I don't know if I'm explaining good. My career, as it went, should go in the other direction, better or maybe worse. I don't know, but this is the reality. This is the Beqa I am and I was, the hardest working guy who never gave up and who just gave his all, man, to the game. Because this is what I could control, and this is what I did, and this is what I'm doing. And I hope I will do, well, I'm sure I will do until the very end of my career. So this is what the people, I want to know that I did everything and I gave everything to the game.
That's a dope answer, man. I applaud that. If you can go back and give 18-year-old Beqa some advice, what would you tell yourself?
This is easy too. And man, all the conversations I'm having with the young talents, either he's from Georgia, they're from Georgia or not. I'm telling this story. Be patient, be patient, and why? Because when I turned 18, in my mind, I printed that, Beqa, you have 4 years to get drafted. So us as a ball players and competitors, even you are 18 or even you are 10, you are a competitor. I don't care how old you are, you know. I get printed in my mind that, Beqa, you got 4 years to get drafted. So what that thought process brought to me, all the anxiety, nothing good. Why? Because now Aito, which was my coach, was putting me in the game 5 minutes. You're 18 years old, man. You're playing 5 minutes in ACB. Say thank you and work your ass off. That's it. That's what all matters, man. And you know what my approach was? Damn, in these 5 minutes, I gotta score these points. I gotta take every rebound. I gotta, damn, my man can't score on me. You know? So all this thought process is giving you anxiety. So now in your mind, you gotta score this point, and when you miss, now you're getting frustrated. Now you're going down mentally. And guess what? The next basketball you're grabbing, I was shooting that bitch as well. Pardon my French. Why? Because I had in mind, because I had to score that, man.
You had to make
Regardless.
up for the last one.
Yeah, make up for the last and getting my stats. So man, I was so selfish. And I gotta admit that. I'm the first guy who is admitting to that, Beqa, you were selfish as hell. And it was wrong from your side. Because I was not patient. And that would be the huge advice, not only to myself back in the day when I was 18, but to all the youngsters who are 18 or below or above, that they have to deal with this kind of thought process, you know. And guess what? I didn't get drafted. I learned this lesson, the biggest lesson, from this kind of Beqa. But either way, I wasn't patient. I was selfish. And what was the outcome and what was the result? I didn't get drafted. So what changed? Nothing really changed. Whatever changed is just me thinking about my younger self, what I should do better, how I should act better, and I can do. The good thing is that, well, hopefully I'm not dying today. So good thing is that I can improve all those things for tomorrow.
Right, right.
So all those were big lessons for me, and I'm always saying those stories to the youngsters, and hopefully that advice can help them.
Good. Finish this sentence. The most underrated part of my game is?
Most underrated part of my game is I'll tell you. Shooting off the dribble.
Shooting off the
Yeah.
dribble. So you're telling, now you've just told your scouting report to Real Madrid, to Barcelona. So don't underestimate his off the dribble shot.
It's okay. It's unguardable. So what difference does it make, right? No, I'm just joking. Actually, I'm not that cocky, but every year we have to assume some role,
right.
and we have to play in that role.
Right.
You know this very well because you played European basketball, and this is how it goes. If not, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And there's so many phases of the game of basketball that I worked my ass off during my younger ages, and I'm still working. But maybe there is a role for you this season in my team that they don't need it. So what I can do, maybe I can keep improving by myself, but I don't have so many opportunities during the actual game to perform that way, or to do all the things that I was working on. So that's a tricky part of being professional. That the team needs you. The team needs something from you. You gotta deliver it, and that's it. You know, is it bad or good? I don't know. For me, sometimes I think that it's bad because damn, I really can, I really can do this, this, and this, but they're not asking me to do this, you know. So I gotta be the top guy in my role, whatever is coach asking or the team needs, whatever. But I would definitely say that pull up 2-pointer off the dribble, bro. I'm feeling comfortable with it. I've studied it from a lot of players. I'm working on it every day. So,
Okay.
but on the game, you don't see because there is not too much opportunity for me. Maybe a few ones.
It's okay. You never know. It's going to be 3, 2, 1. You're going to have the ball in your hands, and that moment is going to be yours. All that work you put into it, you never know when that moment comes, and you will be ready. That's what I think.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
You got it.
Thank you for
Right,
giving me that trust. But all those imaginations, since we were kids, man,
Yep.
like
Yep.
3, 2, 1, and shooting to the hoop.
Yep.
It's just a dream, and damn, if it will happen one day, oof.
You're going to think back to this interview.
I will remember. I remember about you and this interview for sure, man.
Okay, I got one last question for you. This is an offbeat question.
Okay.
A little bird told me that you can be a little bit superstitious on game days, and that's the only time when you cut your hair. Is that true?
That's the only time that I cut my hair?
Yes, that you're superstitious about cutting your hair on game day. I'm not going to tell you who told me this, but a little birdie told me that.
Man, who the hell
Is it true?
told you that?
I'm not revealing my sources here.
Hey, I got my version who might told you that, but it's okay. Yeah, man, I'm superstitious guy, and it's crazy because I'm also religious guy, and religion is kind of, it's contradictory. Like if you're religious, you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it has to be one of my superstitions. Like I'm coming from the barber because in 2 days we have the game against Valencia, and so my barber is sometimes very occupied, and that motherfucker couldn't cut my hair the last week. So the blame is on him why I didn't play good, you know.
Okay.
Every time I can before the game, I'm getting my hair cut. Also, one of my other superstitions is that I have to step on the court with my right foot when I'm entering the game, you know.
Okay, I got you.
So maybe it's pretty common, but that's what I'm having.
Everybody has. I also had mine with my socks, and I changed shoes at halftime if I wasn't playing good.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
But the person that gave me that piece of advice or that piece of knowledge was your wife.
My wife?
Yes, I wrote her.
What the hell? Hey, I could never ever imagine that, bro. I was thinking about Kyle Rowley, my ex-teammate. We were actually getting sometimes haircuts together. Like maybe he said something. I had no idea.
Your wife ratted you out, man. Your wife ratted you out.
Oh my God! Listen.
Tell her I said hi. I wrote to her and asked for a little piece of it, something that only like someone close to him would know.
Oh my God! Hey. In this life, I guess don't trust anybody. Huh? That's crazy.
Really. Hey, my guy, I'm gonna let you get out of here. I got one last thing. It's a request. It's not a question. So this is the part of the show where I ask my guests. Now that you've been on, now you can recommend somebody who should come on and you think would be a good interview guest for me. So, but the thing is, you have to help me get this person. So you have to nominate this person and probably let them know that I'll be writing them because they probably, if they don't know me, they're probably not going to answer. So, So you recommend somebody and then you got to help me get it. Who you recommend? It can be anybody. It can be a fan. It can be really anybody that's involved in basketball.
Man, I can recommend so many people, but since you said that your favorite player or the player that you love to watch most is Toko, I will work on it. I will recommend you, but at the same time, I will do my best for him
Yes.
to enjoy the your life, man, because
Thank
uh,
you.
for sure he knows about you, and for sure he will love whatever you are doing because I know him, and he will have all the respects for your content, and yeah, I will text him, man, and
My guy.
let's see
My guy.
if we can make it happen.
Let's see. Okay, man, I'm gonna let you get out of here. Yo, I appreciate you coming on. This is a dope ass interview, as I hoped it would be, and I'm glad that I hit you up and asked you to come on, man. Like I'm totally a fan. I'm gonna be following your stats and stuff, and I'm gonna see if I can get some highlights of you. All right.
You already
And when you
know,
hit that game winner, you hit me up and say, Sean,
bro.
you had
I'm
it.
calling you. I'm calling you right
Let's
away.
do it.
What
Let's
the
do
hell?
it, man. Yo,
Yeah.
I really appreciate you, Beqa, man. And keep doing your thing. I hope you play for many, many more years. You've been through a lot, man, but you've always come out on top for you, for your family, for your country. Keep doing what you're doing, man, and you never know who's looking up to you, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
keep doing what you're doing, and I appreciate you, my guy, and get on up out of here, get on with your evening, and
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna reach out to you soon anyway about other stuff.
Man, again, thanks a lot for having me. And I'll repeat myself that keep doing what you're doing because you are so helpful for the young bowlers, man. And
Appreciate it.
you deserve what you're getting and even more. And hopefully, I'll see you with the every time with the more followers and more viewers because you deserve it, man.
Appreciate it,
Yes,
man.
sir.
I really appreciate that.
Yes,
Doing it
sir.
for the culture, right? So,
Yeah.
and I appreciate it, man. Get on up out of here, and I'm gonna say goodbye to the people. I appreciate you. I'm gonna hit you up anyway.
Yep.
All
Bye.
right, man.
Thanks. Thanks, man.
Later. So, everybody, hey, you never know how a guest will react to you, and I'm not a trained interviewer, I'm not a trained broadcaster or something like that, reporter or something like that. So, for me, this is a lot of fun, and these are exactly the interviews that get me going and keep me doing what I do and trying to present different types of people that will add some good content, not just for me, but also for you as well. So I'm super excited that I had him on there, and hopefully he can make it work with one of my favorite EuroLeague players, and I'll have him on as well. And you guys keep your eyes out. You never know who's going to pop up and be a guest. And yeah, I'll have an interview next week, I believe. And yeah, if you were here for 1 minute or for the 39 minutes, oh no, almost 1 hour we're on. Then thank you, and please, can you call my name, Beqa? Well, Becca's already gone. Sorry, man. But thank you for watching, and I will hopefully see you next week. And good health to you and yours. Old head out.